Shalom, Israel. It's your boy New Breed coming through with another live stream. And I'm going to save the theatrics today. I'm going to save the theatrics and get right into it. As y'all enter the chat, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way in. We got a lot to discuss. The talk that every man needs to hear. The talk that every man needs to hear. You're about to hear it right now. I made a very bold mission statement on my community post a few days back about purging my channel of men who hate women. You know, if it's the last thing I do, I am going to rid my platform of men who hate women. And I'm also going to expose the red pill garbage that a lot of these men subscribe to. In this video, I'm going to give you a talk that a lot of our fathers, grandfathers, men of notoriety, men in leadership should have gave a lot of us. It's unfortunate that a lot of us didn't have this talk that we're about to have today. But today you're going to get it. You're going to learn a lot about manhood. You're going to learn a lot about accountability. You're going to learn a lot about responsibility. You're going to learn a lot about integrity. You're going to learn a lot about morals. And I'm going to put things in a whole nother perspective that a lot of creators, or content creators rather, are not putting into perspective. And there's only one way to do that, and that's going to the Holy Bible. Fire, thank you for the $15 contribution. Says, keep up the great work, King. Thank you, sis. Highly appreciate you. Bless you for contributing to this work. You know, I'm too young to be feeling this old. I'm too young to be feeling this old. Now, I don't mean physically old. I don't feel physically old at all. Mentally and spiritually, yeah. I feel a lot older than a lot of my predecessors and those before me. Especially those who have built great platforms for themselves and have notoriety when it comes to the black manosphere, or men who are just in leadership, from my diaspora. And the reason I say I feel too old to be this young is because what I'm seeing is troubling from men in their 40s, 50s, some even 60s. I'm seeing something that's very troubling. And there's a message that needs to be totally deciphered and broke down. When I look around social media, I'm seeing a lot of grown-ass men arguing, fussing, fighting, going back and forth with each other. I'm seeing a lot of men still have issues with women. And we all know that there's a certain demographic of women, just like men, who are undesirables among our community. There's a certain demographic of men and women in our community who don't personify class whatsoever. There's people who are wicked people. Then you have people who are good people. And that's in every nationality, every race, every color, every creed. But it seems that one demographic of women in our community in particular is being highlighted. They're being highlighted, and since a lot of these women tend to be broken, they're then being exploited. They're being exploited. by ravenous wolves, by men who have sold their souls for filthy lucre's sake. And it has become very easy to build a huge platform for yourself by bashing and exploiting these particular demographic of women within our community. Any old Joe Schmo off the streets can come on YouTube now and build a platform overnight just for bashing women. Geraldo, thank you for the $15 contribution. Kwam Yasharala, keep beaming, big bro. Highly appreciate you, family. Thank you. Rubies and Pearls, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, thank you for your leadership, King. Love you, New Breed. All praises to the Most High. All praises. Thank you for your support. Highly appreciate you. What's missing? With our men, we have no accountability. We have no accountability whatsoever. Nobody wants to look at themselves and ask themselves a very pertinent question. And that question being, did I play a role in the dysfunction of our women? Did I play a role? Have I done anything in my past that contributes to the dysfunction? Now, we know that our captivity here in the United States had a huge hand and a huge role in what we see today. But we got to ask ourselves as men, did we fuel the fire? Are we the ones supporting the OnlyFans pages? Are we the ones supporting these quote-unquote IG models who are leaving nothing for the imagination on social media? Did we contribute by liking these photos, by sharing these photos, by being thirsty? Do we contribute by leaving women hurt and scorned? Do we have a pattern of whoredom or whoremongering? Do we deal with women just for physical pleasure? Have they become objects? Did we allow this system to turn our women into objects? Did we allow it? Do we protect them? Are we protecting them? Are we standing up and speaking to those women who put themselves out there because she's insecure? Because she never had a male role model to tell her, hey sis or daughter, you ain't gotta let it all hang out for you to stand out as a woman. That your beauty doesn't dictate your importance. Beauty is vain. Have any of us contributed on the right side of things? Have we all highlighted what's wrong? I think it's safe to say that we all know what's wrong at this point. I think it's safe to say we all can see the issues. Now, there's only one book that can quantify what men need to hear. Men who have potential to be kings, leaders of tribes, brothers of notoriety and renown. It's only one book, and that's the Holy Bible. And what I'm going to go into today is going to expose this malignant root that's in our communities. It's going to expose the poison that's being injected into the minds of our young brothers and some of our middle-aged brothers, some of our brothers who wasn't taught certain things that they're going to learn today. Right? Only the Bible can quantify where we at right now. I'm going to go there. I'm going to start off in Genesis chapter 3. And we're talking about Adam and Eve. Like I said, I'm going back to the history of where we are today. Because listen, those who know their history knows the present. Those who know their history also knows the future. They know where they're going because history repeats itself. The Bible tells us that there's nothing new under the sun. So all you brothers and sisters who have atheistic beliefs, believing that everything is just relative, you're wasting your time. Because only in the spiritual realm we can manifest what's to come. And you need to hear this. I'm going to the book of Genesis. Let's get it. I'm going to Genesis chapter 3, and it reads, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yes, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is up in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. So immediately, Satan put doubt into the woman's head. He planted a seed. He planted a seed in her mind. He said, You shall not surely die. Meaning, are you sure you're going to die if you eat of this fruit? It fed into a woman's curiosity. And you know, a lot of women are very curious. Satan went after the weaker vessel. He knew he had to go after her first and plant that seed of doubt, that seed that would sow discord between her and Adam. Right? Let's continue. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. He said, if you eat of this fruit, you're going to be like gods. You're going to know good and evil. That was very tempting to the woman. Although, look, we was in paradise. There was nothing more that we needed to know. That was the only time where ignorance is bliss. That was the only time in history where ignorance was straight up bliss. Let's continue. And when a woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And then they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? Adam, where you at? Adam, where are you? Why are y'all hiding? What's going on? Here's the reply. And the Lord called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard the voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked and hid myself. And he said, Who told thee thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I command thee thou not to eat? And the man said, The woman who thou gavest to me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. So immediately, what did the man do? What did Adam do? Adam didn't say, Lord, I'm so sorry, I repent. I ate of the fruit. What did Adam say? He said, the woman that you gave me, she gave me the fruit. He took all accountability out of the equation. He took all responsibility out of the equation. Who knows what the Most High's response would have been if Adam would have said, Lord, I sinned against you. What did he do? He blamed the woman. Let's continue. And he said, who told thee thou was naked? We've already been there. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest with me, she gave me the truth, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, above all beasts of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go. And I will put enmity between thee, woman. I will put enmity between thy woman. So what happened? It's part of the curse. The Most High put enmity between man and woman. Because both sinned against the Most High. Both parties were involved in the crime against humanity. Let's continue. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Meaning childbearing will be painful. It says, in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. So now it's going to be painful when you bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, because thou have hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I command thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground, for the sake and sorrow shall thou eat of all the days of thy life. Every time the Most High blames us for not leading, for being super thirsty, for being easily impressionable by the batting of the eyes. Because if you can imagine how it went down, Eve was she probably had her most precious thorns on that day. You know, she had her little fig tree blouse. The hips was poking out. And just like the serpent beguiled her, she used her looks. She used her body. She used all of that. Look, it took some type of beguiling. It took some type of allure to bring Adam to say, you know what? Hey, yeah, you ate it, baby. I'm going to eat it. And the Most High didn't blame the woman for that. What did the Most High do? He casted them out of the land of milk and honey. So what's the learning experience from that for you brothers? What do we learn from that? What you learn from that is that you got to be leadership. All throughout the biblical text, the Most High had no mercy for men who allow women to rule over them. He had no mercy whatsoever for men who allow women to rule over them. None. So what that means is you got to get yourself right as a man to be, I would say, prepared to lead a family, to lead a tribe, to lead a woman. And it just so happens in this wicked generation, we got to go through a lot just to get to that point. A lot of us men are way behind. We're way behind because we haven't been taught. And there's a huge malignant root that I'm going to address in this video, which is pornography. That's a malignant root. That's one of them that we got to pull out. We got to pull it out of that deep soil, and we got to burn it. We got to pull that root out and burn it, and burn everything around it. We're going to go there. But there's more. A lot of brothers who have created this red pill content, this content that seems to put a lot of our sisters on blast for their various issues, the content that seems to be the most popular among social media at the moment. A lot of these brothers wasn't taught certain things about being a man. A lot of these brothers have been through a lot with women, and they seem to be scorned. They seem to be hurt. And there's a huge demographic of brothers who have been through similar situations with women, and these brothers didn't understand how to process what they've been through, how to overcome it, how to become a better man, and how to learn from their actual mistakes. Somebody is creating single mothers. Somebody is creating women who believe that them showing their ass on social media makes them relevant. Somebody is promoting the behavior. I'm going to go to these scriptures. We're going to start off in Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Love your wives as Christ have loved the church and given his life for it. I'm going to tell you off the break. There's a lot of men who are being programmed through social media who are not ready to love a woman. They are not ready to love their wife or even attract a woman that they can love like Christ did the church. There's not too many men out here who are being bred to lose their life for their wife or their wives. There's not too many brothers out there who are ready for that. And it's because the programming. There's not too many brothers who are ready to love their wife like Christ loved the church. In fact, most of these brothers out here, they only want to bust a nut. A lot of these thirsty brothers, they're too immature to have love in their hearts. Because the pornography industry, it has promoted a hyper-sexualized environment where you got grown-ass men who are immature to the point where they see a woman and they drooling. They got these real immature reactions to what they're seeing. It's like, damn, Negro, you've been seeing titties and ass your whole life. You ain't trying to find out what's up here. You ain't trying to find out what's on that woman's mind. You ain't trying to find out what her spirit is like. All you doing is looking at body parts and wonder why you end up in a very shitty situation. Wonder why you end up on child support. Wonder why you end up with a lifestyle full of stress and anguish and pain and resentment and regret, because all you getting is sex and stress. All you getting is your energy being stripped. It's because you did not discipline yourself. You don't know what love is. You don't know what love is because this world has created a separation between man and woman, and you're a part of this synthetic culture. You are part of this synthetic culture. And you're not prepared to love no woman Matter of fact, you don't even love yourself yet. A lot of you brothers got to learn to love you first. And a lot of you brothers then in terms have to put Christ over you. You have to have a God. You have to be a man with a God. And that God that you serve have to come first. Because if you don't put the Elohim power, the Most High first, you're no good for nobody. You're not good for anybody. Let's continue. First Peter chapter 3 verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of grace of life, your prayers be not hindered. See, here's the issue. You're not respecting the fact that that woman is a weaker vessel. Now, some of y'all hear that terminology and you get thrown off. It's off-putting when you hear the Bible say weaker vessel. It only means that she has certain deficiencies that the man does not have. And those deficiencies have to be sold up by that man's presence, by his leadership. Right? But if you don't respect that as a man, you're going to have an issue on your hands. Because then you're getting on attack mode every time a woman is not lining up, when really all of it equivalates to your piss poor leadership. A lot of you brothers having issues because you got piss poor ass leadership. That's just what it is. You don't listen. Leadership comes in many forms, but you don't disrespect your star player. You don't basically bench your star player. You don't talk down on your star player to the point where their confidence is dilapidated. It's like you Negroes on social media don't understand that all we have as men is our damn counterparts, which is our women. Don't you remember in the 60s, before J. Edgar Hoover's ass sent the brigade out to cause all this dysfunction in our community, that our women was right beside us with afros throwing up black fists? How the hell we gonna come to our full fruition and power if we don't have our counterparts? If our rib is missing? Do you know how bad it feels to have a damn rib missing? Have any of y'all ever broke a rib? Some of y'all broke a rib, won't let the rib heal because you too busy putting pressure on it. Are you listening? The rib is broken. It won't heal because you keep putting pressure on it and you're only hurting yourself. That's the point in time we at in social media, where it's time to actually heal your rib. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and being heirs together of grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. If you're not respecting your wife, if you're not respecting women, or women who have the potential to heal and grow, your prayers are going to be hindered. You're not even taking care of your responsibilities. You want to ask Christ for a blessing, but what's underneath you is not being taken care of. You can't go to him without you taking care of your responsibilities as a man. So your prayers get hindered. Let's continue. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. We in those times where men will become like fine gold. We're talking about real men with morals, with ethics, with a code of conduct, with rules that they live by. Every man got to have a set of rules. Some of us brothers don't have no ethics. Some of us brothers will deal with another man's wife. That's supposed to be a rule right there. You're supposed to be finding out if these women are involved with another man, and no matter how attractive she is, you're supposed to stick to your code of conduct. You're supposed to be a man, but like, look, lady, you got a whole husband at home. You dealing with another brother. Any issue that you have, you should be taking it to him. We can't be friends. A man is not going to be friends with a woman. I remember Steve Harvey came out and said something to the lines of, he don't have no female friends because men and women can't be friends. And he got a lot of flack because he said that. And it's true. It's true. I mean, you can have certain platonic relationships that is from a distance, but when I'm talking about a genuine friendship where a man is hanging with a woman thick as thieves and they're in close proximity on a regular basis, that a real man is not going for that. A real man is not going to be friend zoned with a woman. Because a man has an attraction to women. And you got to let a woman know our break. Look, I'm not your friend. You attractive. I'm attracted to you. Don't waste my time. I'm a man. And that has to be put out there. But this scripture says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. We living in those times. Brothers who actually stand on principles. Brothers who got integrity. All I see is a bunch of men going back and forth arguing with each other, or kissing somebody's ass, or, you know, trying to get in with the crowd and fit in with individuals. Men who lack confidence and they feel like they have to prove everything to everybody, especially other men. For the life of me, I don't get it. A lot of these brothers be on social media talking about what type of women they dealing with. Oh man, look at me, I'm in the field. I'm pulling this chick, I'm pulling that chick. Men in their 40s trying to prove themselves. Trying to prove themselves to other men. It's crazy to me. Real men would be like pure gold in this day and age. And it's time for us real brothers to stand up. It's time for us brothers to take accountability for the damage that we caused. We talk about how women got all these body counts, but who the hell is smashing these women? We talk about body counts, but who is giving the women the body counts? Remember in the scriptures, when they were about to stone a woman to death, who happened to be a prostitute, Christ stepped up and said, look, he who is without sin, cast the first stone. There was brothers in that circle. They know they dealt with that woman. They just didn't get caught. They know that they had her come into the little tent in the middle of the night and had their way with that woman. So for every whore, there's a whoremonger. But we don't want to talk about that. Christ said, he who is without sin, let them cast the first stone. None of them casted a stone. You know why? Because all of them was guilty. I'm guilty and you guilty. We all guilty. We all have had our hand in damaging our women. Now you're going to have some brothers who get right, and you're going to have some brothers who continue on this downward spiral. I've changed my ways. I'm still a work in progress. Not perfect at all, but I came a long way from when Bill Bellamy's How to Be a Player came out. I came a long way from my days in college. The couple of years I spent in an HBCU. I came a long way from my days of living in Southwest Washington, D.C. I came a long way. Are you brothers growing? Or are you still running around like a pit bull with the pink thing hanging out, chasing ass all day? It's time to work on you. Conquer your own demons. Let me continue. Ephesians 5:5. It reads, For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. No whoremonger, nor unclean person. Now, if you laying down with whores and you getting prostitutes, she doing anything for a cash app, you're unclean. It says no whoremongers, right? You're a whoremonger. You're going around chasing after women who are whores. That's what a whoremonger is. Women who are easy. Women who got a high body count. Because the same women that y'all exposing are the same women you dealing with. That's craziness. That's insanity. The same women that you would bash is the same women that you go into for your personal pleasure. You're unclean. Nor covetous man, nor any man that's watching another man to see what he got. A man who wants what another man got. You men who look at these other brothers' wives and be trying to get with them because you think it's fly to smash another brother's woman. That's being covetous. Or you see another man with some nice shoes, which you got these wicked ass thugs robbing brothers for shoes. What kind of man robs another man for some shoes? So you're gonna take your feet and stick your feet in another man's stinking ass shoes after he done walked a mile in them. That's covetous. A man who always watching what you got going on, counting your pockets, counting your dollars. And while I'm on that subject, let me put this out here. What Google is putting out there is false about me on Google. And I would appreciate, Google, if you're watching me, which I know you are, I would appreciate if you stop trying to estimate my gross income. I would really like you to stop doing that because you're making me a target. Why is it that this is happening? Because that's a weapon being used against me. They know they can't touch me because I'm not opening no portals to let these devils in. So what they would do is they would put up something false on Google to try to make me a target of my own people. But this is how it is. You have people who are always watching, people who are always covetous. So I would appreciate all of those platforms who created those lies and those articles and whatever you got going on Google. I would highly appreciate it if you get my name off of it for my safety. Because I would hate to have to go get my lawyer. I would hate to have to go get my lawyer. Now, I digress. Let me go back. Which I'm not going to say it ain't true. Just put it that way. What they're saying is not true. Now, it says, For this ye know, that no whoremongers, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of God. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience. Let no man deceive you with vain words. A lot of these red pill content creators, they're vain, they're carnal. They're only feeding off your spiritual deficiencies, brothers. They only feeding off of the fact that all men desire to have, well, most men desire to have a mate. But they're frustrated because it's hard to find that. They know your frustrations. They know your frustrations as a man. Don't fall for the vain deceit. These people's tongues is like double-edged swords. These people are snakes. Let no man deceive you with vain words, because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. The wrath of the Most High is going to come. And when the wrath comes and you faced in that judgment seat, the Almighty is going to ask you, why did you disrespect the daughters of Zion? Why did you exploit their shortcomings instead of being a leader when I gave you positions? Why didn't you speak life into your people? Why didn't you speak life into your brothers and sisters? And then you're going to be judged for it. The wrath of the Most High is coming. Let's continue. Let's go to Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. For ye know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Let me highlight nor effeminate, nor effeminate, nor effeminate. We're living in a time where real men have to explain what effeminate is. We have to explain what being effeminate is. People, men who are effeminate won't inherit the kingdom. It's a shame when I gotta tell y'all that a man wearing a purse is effeminate. It's a shame when I gotta tell you that a man cheerleading is effeminate. It's a shame when I gotta tell you that a man having another grown-ass man sleeping in his bed is effeminate. That's a shame. It's a shame that I gotta tell you that posing like an IG thought and snapping pictures is effeminate. That's a shame that I have to tell you grown men this. It's a shame that I gotta tell you that men going back and forth arguing is effeminate. It's effeminate. A real man don't got no time to be sitting there arguing with another man. I come up from a generation where if I have an issue with a man, either we're gonna put on some gloves or swap it out, or we're gonna keep each other's name out our mouths. Simple as that. Either we gonna swap it out and fight like men. We're gonna go in the backyard, get the shit out of the way, dap up. After I knock on your ass, I'm gonna help you up, dap up. We got it all figured out. It is what it is. We got it off our chest. It's over. Is it brothers still like that left? Are we? Damn, we last amongst a dying breed. I swear we are. There ain't too many brothers who get down like that because you got this internet as a false sense of security. You got these portals that we can be whoever the hell we want to be behind these portals. We can be the toughest, roughest dundada. We can be the biggest, baddest gangster. We can go against each other and we can see who's the most verbally equipped. Who can be the most boisterous? Since when is that masculinity? Seeing who can be the most boisterous against each other. How about, let's see who has the most logic. Let's see what brothers are progressive in this awakening. Let's see what brothers got their emotions in check. Keyboard gangsters, exactly what they are. I love that phrase you just put. If y'all gaining edification, hit the thumbs up on this video, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the thumbs up on the video. We got more scriptures to go to. Let's read this one more time. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Yeah, we talking about them brothers who are burnt with lust towards one another, and they are working which is unseemly. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of secret cliques going on. They done took the Hollywood structure and they done brung it to YouTube. They done took the whole Hollywood structure and brung it to social media in general. And it's only a matter of time before the Bible is outlawed, because the Bible points everything out, plain as day. In China already, you get caught with a Bible, they treat it like contraband. They sending a SWAT and all of them to your house to kick the damn door down. You get caught with a Bible. You know where that's coming next? The States. California gonna be the first ones hit with it. If you look at some of the stringent laws they got going on over there, yeah, California, that'd be the first state they hit. LA, Hollywood, where all of the witchcraft and Wiccan practices go on. Hollywood, LA, it's so wicked over there. As soon as you fly over it, you can feel the demons. As soon as you get over there, there's an energy. You know what they do in the hills of Hollywood? That'd be the first place to outlaw the Bible. There's gonna come a time where all you brothers and sisters who don't follow me on Patreon or other social sites that are underground, brothers like myself, either we gonna have to change up everything we saying all together, or y'all gonna have to come on through it and follow where we going. Because this place is becoming Sodom in Egypt. This place is becoming Sodom. I didn't realize how far gone we were until I exposed a certain individual on YouTube, and I lost a lot of support behind it. I didn't realize how far gone we were. I didn't realize how many brothers was on the low. I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know it was that many brothers who on the low are packing fudge out here. And I'm just gonna say it just like it is. They packing fudge out here. A lot of them. Let's continue. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. Everybody sending super chats, highly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for showing y'all support. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than infidel. See, this is one of those talks that our fathers should have sat down and had with us. Son, if you don't provide for your family, you worse than an infidel. If you're not making a living for your family, making sure they're able to thrive and succeed, making sure they got all their needs, you worse than an infidel. And there's going to be people who are upset with this scripture, because there's a lot of men out there who have made up in their mind that society has fell so far that they can't acquire any type of success on a workplace, that they can't get out and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. You better get out and get something. How can you make it if you never even try? You got a lot of brothers who make excuses, and I'm gonna tell you like this: as a man, I don't deal with excuses. When it comes down to it, a lot of brothers who get arrested, locked up, have to do some time, get charges under their belt. They get out of prison and they act like, hey, I'm a felon. I can't do this and I can't do that. Listen, if you can make all those plugs, all those connections out there on the streets, how the hell you can't make a plug and a connection to get your ass a job? It ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. You was able to make all those moves in the streets, meet all these various people, but you can't meet somebody who gonna hook you up with a gig? I'm calling you bullshit. All of these programs that they got out to help people who are released. See, it ain't no excuses. They got labor ready. Whatever you got to do as a man to make sure your babies got food on that table, you got to do it. And I'm talking about everything that's lawful, under the law of the Most High. I'm not talking about going out here and being a damn maniac or a drug dealer or someone who is out here robbing people. I'm talking about anything that you got to do within reason to make ends meet. The Bible says you got to do that. If you got a family, man, you got to do it. You got to. That's something that we need to know as men. And you got this situation in social media where you got every man trying to get rich or die trying because they feel like they got to aim for the stars. Because of a lot of these content creators are putting a value system on men that a lot of men don't have. They saying if you don't make a certain amount of money, you're not a man of value. And women only want these men. So you got men trying to just get rich or die trying. Not understanding the value of a dollar. Not understanding hard work and how it pays off. Not understanding the validity of physical labor and how that helps a man become more brolic, more strong, how it builds his character. You're not understanding the value of a dollar. And for those who need financial advice, it goes like this. It ain't about how much you make. It's about how much you spend. Are you living above your means? You can make $40,000 a year and live better than somebody who's making $100,000 a year because you don't go above your means. You don't spend money that goes above your means. You're not trying to live a certain lifestyle to appease to everybody else. You're not trying to get with the Joneses. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're saving money. That's what it's about. And money ain't everything. Money ain't everything. Now, I do realize there's brothers who get down bad. They get down on their luck. You might lose your gig. That happens. I'm not telling women that they should leave a man because he lost his job. I'm not telling women they should disregard a man because he's without work at the moment. But what I'm telling you is that man has to be trying. That man has to be doing what he got to do to make sure his family is straight. That man got to be filling those applications out. Listen, filling out applications is a full-time job. That's a job in itself. Getting your resume together, sending those job appies out, that's work. He has to be active because eventually, as he's active, he's going to get what he's looking for. And she's supposed to stand behind him in that time. She's supposed to be his support system during that time. But that man got to be out there doing it. You can't fool everybody all the time. If your heart ain't providing for your family, then you won't provide. You can't fool everybody all the time, brothers. Or if you really want to provide for your family, you can. Stop using the streets as a crutch. Stop using the streets as an excuse. But if any man provide not for his own, especially of those of his own house, especially if you ain't providing for those who are living that you're in close proximity with, those are your own house, not just your family members, your distant relatives, your cousins, your auntie, your moms and them, they need this and need that. No, we talking about especially if you're not even putting them shoes on your own baby's feet. That's what it's talking about. Calls you an infidel. Worse than an infidel. And has denied the faith. Has denied the faith because If you walking by faith and not by sight, you're gonna be getting on your feet as a man. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4. In that day, they will be traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. They will be traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. That's what you see. All on social media, a whole lot of traitors, backstabbers, getting on each other's platforms. 1 minute they cool, next minute they not. That's all you see in the world. It says they're heady, high-minded. They think more of themselves than what they are. Oh, they think highly of themselves. They think very highly of themselves. There's a lot of men that think this way. And it says they will become lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. And that's what you got going on in this world. Men are becoming dopamine addicts. They're loving pleasure more than loving the Most High. They rather chase ass than read a verse. They rather do whatever they do to get some vagina, but they ain't trying to get close to the Most High and learn how to be a better man. They love pleasure more than they love God. So much so that a lot of these brothers, even when they travel abroad, it's not about connecting to the Most High. It's not about carrying the Holy Spirit around with you. It's not about absorbing culture, information, knowledge, wisdom. It's about chasing ass. It's about pleasure. I don't know about y'all brothers, but man, there's one show on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it. It actually just came out. Where, if y'all know the name of the show as I explain it, put it in the chat. There's a show where these three individuals, I think it's two females and a brother, they're traveling all over the world to various places. I'm talking about obscure, just unique, some of them sophisticated. It's just beautiful places to travel. And they're learning the culture, they're learning the various history about those places. And for me, as a man, that is more intriguing to me than anything. That's more intriguing to me when I'm traveling, not to be, just chasing ass. For me as a man, it's like, I want to learn everything. I want to learn the culture. I want to feel the environment. I want to know the energy that surrounds everything. I want to absorb everything. And it's just like, our mindset's got to change. Our mindset's got to change as men. It is what it is, though. Did somebody name the show? Let me see. Did somebody name that show? Y'all could. I guess y'all don't know the name of the show. It is what it is, yeah. But a lot of people do be stuck in the box. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It actually just came out. Yeah, many people probably haven't even seen it yet, but it is what it is. Now we got to talk about this from a very spiritual vantage point as well, because this is a malignant root. This stems deep when we're talking about the hypersexualization. I'm going to go to Maripedia.com. That's my source. I want to talk about this porn thing. Pardon me. We'll talk about this porn thing. Now, pornography. That's the elephant in the room that seems to be invisible. Now, some of y'all like, Newbie, why are you going here? Why are you talking about porn? This talk right here is what every young man needed to have. Another part of it. Everything that I'm I'm saying in this stream, this is something that all men needed to hear or need to hear. This is something that your dad should have came in the room and said, son, we need to talk. Son, we need to have a very important conversation about the birds and the bees. I just had a Bill Cosby moment. I tell you, man, I be feeling too old to be this young. Had a Bill Cosby moment, like I was talking to Theo for a second. Like I was one of the Huxtables. That's what I just envisioned. But seriously, we all needed to hear this conversation that a lot of us brothers didn't hear. And this is the root to a lot of our hate, a lot of the objectification when it comes to women. This is the root to a lot of separation. This is the root to a lot of anxiety, social anxiety that a lot of brothers suffer from, where they cannot reach their full potential because they can't even operate in public. They can't even operate as a man because this one malevolent, demonic force known as pornography, the succubus demon. We got to go there and we got to break it down. This is very spiritual. And the reason why you see that particular content, that material being spread worldwide, we're talking about millions upon millions of dollars in marketing. We're talking about easy accessibility on various devices. We're talking about the invisible Trojan horse that's causing this problem, this poison, this sickness in our community. And everybody is suffering. And you got so many people who are one-handed bandits, so many brothers who are one-handed bandits, and they having this issue, they having this problem. And they will not bring this issue forward. They won't bring it to the light. They won't confess because it's embarrassing. And that should speak volumes in itself that it's embarrassing. But somebody got to talk about it. I'm going to Mirapedia. Pornography objectifies women. Women as sex objects. Pornography fosters the idea that the degradation of women is acceptable, since males use pornography much more frequently than females. Exposure to sexual, semi-sexual material from the internet, magazines, television, and associated with stronger notions that women are sex objects or sexual commodities. Men, thus exposed, are more likely to describe women in overly sexual terms rather than by other personal attributes. We're talking about the objectification of women. Yes, men have a bigger problem with porn than women because men are very visual creatures. We love beauty, but this beauty can be toxic. This beauty can be poisonous if not dealt with correctly as a man. Brothers, porn is a weapon. It's a weapon that strips you of your testosterone. It's a weapon that strips you of natural affection when it comes to women. It's a weapon that creates psychological distortion, right? It affects perception. It affects, I would say, balance. See, when you get on a no-fap lifestyle change, which I preached on for many years, that I feel like I gotta go back and get back to the basics. No-fap means semen retention. When you practice this particular lifestyle change and you stray away from the sexual redundant behavior that has plagued us as a people, you begin to build yourself up as a man. You will become the same man day in and day out. You will have balance, psychological balance. You are who you are. You will have clarity in your thought process. All of the mental fog that a lot of us men suffer with, it'll go away. Becoming very irritable. All of that is caused by porno and masturbation. All that irritability, all of that unbalance. You objectifying women, you looking at women like pieces of meat. Becoming socially awkward. You can all attribute that to pornography, because what's done in the dark will show in the light. What you doing in the dark basement, in the dark room by yourself, will show when you get around people. Once you in the light, once you at a grocery store, a post office, the DMV, your workplace, guess what? All those little nasty things you did to yourself in the dark will show. You begin to be very uncomfortable around people. How can you function as a man if you don't discipline yourself? If a man cannot control himself, a man cannot control nothing around him. A man's environment is an extension of oneself. This is why when you spiritually grow, your environment changes. It changes because the demons that's operating around you can no longer be in your presence. So the Most High promotes you. The Most High elevates you. The Most High moves you. But what happens when you are allowing the enemy to come in? What happens when you are allowing that portal to open up? They don't call Bill Gates for no reason. He builds portals, gateways into your homes. What happens when those portals are open and you allow the enemy in? Your environment starts to battle against you. Now your environment is making you stagnant. Now your environment can attack you. There's spiritual laws in place. Not to mention, instead of you attracting a wholesome woman because you discipline yourself, and now a real sister can see the light in you, and now she's gravitating because she doesn't see a disgusting pervert when she looks at you. Now that you can attract a righteous woman who ain't out here sticking foreign objects in her body, a woman who got her legs closed and her eyes open, a woman who ain't out here dealing with a bunch of men, a woman who ain't out here stacking her body count. Now you can attract what you are because you're a man who's disciplined. Now she's attracted to you. She sees the spirit. Women are very spiritual. They're very spiritual. Women have a very intense, heightened sense of the spiritual realm. So when you ain't doing right, brothers, women can sense it. They know what they're dealing with. That's why when you go on semen retention for a certain amount of time, you begin to attract a lot more women. It's true. It's very true. There's a science to it. You got something called, you have a bird called the blue-footed booby. I don't know about y'all, but I'm big on National Geographics. But you got the blue-footed booby that changes during mating season. As the bird goes through this form of semen retention, the colors become brighter on the bird. Everything begins to stand out. Their dance moves get better because the bird actually dances. I'm talking about the bird be two-stepping. Are you watching the National Geographic, man? You can learn a lot from National Geographic. The bird's two-step gets better. The bird's voice gets a certain pitch that attracts the female blue-footed booby. And that's the same thing as a man. Your testosterone levels increase. You begin to feel very pure. You feel stronger. And listen, semen retention can be practiced whether you married or single. All you got to do is take a time period when you and your wife agree, your wife or wives. I got to put that out there. I'm pro polygyny. You got wife or wives. Y'all got to have an agreement that, look, we're going to take some time for prayer, fasting, and supplication. It's very necessary for growth and development. Now, you can't say that men don't look at women as sex objects. You can't say that men don't do that. And it just so happens that a lot of women have accepted it. I'm going to tell you, ladies, don't accept that. It's way more to you than your body. It's way more to you than your beauty. Don't accept that. And a lot of you brothers, when you are masturbating, when you're getting caught up in that particular sin, that lustful behavior, right? You tend to stray away from genuine human interaction altogether. I'm talking about genuine human interaction. And what I mean by that is being able to look someone in their eye and talk with them. Something that's just lacking in this society, because with these computers, with these devices, it's like everybody is used to just being behind text messaging, being behind a voice or being behind a screen, and that face-to-face interaction becomes more awkward, especially when you're involved in masturbation. And you need to be able to look a woman in her eyes. Listen, you brothers been seeing titties and ass your whole life. Some of y'all brothers done watched so much pornography. You done seen so much things from the time you was a child to now that, damn it, come on, man, get over it. Get over it. You should be able to look her in the eye. You should be able to talk with that woman. You should be able to be comfortable enough to be around her. Let's go to paragraph 2. Violence against women. A study widely disturbing X-rated films by Gloria Cohen and colleague professors of psychology at California State University, San Bernardino, determined the range and extent of domination and sexual inequality depicted of women in a random selection of movies. Family video rental stores in California. Physical aggression was present in 73% of the films, and rape, let me take that word back, and blank scenes, pardon me, were present, and 51% with the women as the victim every time. The films depicted gender role inequalities as well, typically portraying the men as professionals and the women as schoolgirls, secretaries, housewives during the sexual scenes. The man usually remained at least partially clothed, while the woman was usually nude. Now, I'm telling y'all right now that in this culture, there's a hidden hand operating, trying to make blank acceptable. Y'all know the word. The R word. Trying to make the R word acceptable. This is why you have the situation with Charlemagne the fraud. I won't be calling him Charlemagne the God because that's sacrilegious. You have a situation where certain things are being broadcast and aired. I don't want no cease and desist against me. But you got a lot of allegations out there that are being put on camera, on social media, is being spread. But all in all, they have conditioned people to accept that TV show and still support that TV show. So underhandedly, they're using one of our people who are a quote unquote leader in our community, and I say that very loosely. Very loosely. And they put this individual as the pretty much the Trojan horse to normalize sliding something in a woman's drink. You know, they did it with Rick Ross too. Molly in her drink and she ain't even know it. Why is that acceptable? Ghetto gathers. Why is this type of content acceptable? Why isn't it banned? Listen, you got some people out there who want to see total distortion among all relationships, among all family. You got people out here who battling against family, who want to promote everything wicked under the sun, including the R word. According to the studies shared in this article, they said 73% of the films that they analyzed had physical abuse scenes. Sheesh. Telling you, they're trying to do something. You got serial killers coming out talking about, hey, what made them serial killers, what gave them that aggression was ultimately porn. It is what it is. Let's talk about it. Acceptance of blank. After prolonged exposure to pornography, men especially, and also some women, trivialize blank as a lesser offense. Similar results emerged in assessment of college men. Sarah Merman of Canyon College, Ohio, found the fraternity members who displayed many more pornographic pictures of women in their rooms than those from non-fraternal groups had more positive attitudes towards blank. Pornographic films also degrade women through blank scenes, myth-accepted scenes, in which depicts women being blanked and ultimately enjoying the experience. Sheesh. These scenes foster the beliefs that women really want to be blanked. Jeanette Norris of the University of Washington conducted a study in which a group of students read two versions of the same story depicting a woman being blanked. The story, however, had two different endings. One version ended with the woman deeply distressed. The other story ended with the woman seeming to enjoy herself. Even though the two stories were identical in every way except for the woman's reaction. And at the end, the students viewed the scenario more positively when the story was depicted of the woman enjoying. Now you see why certain things are being pushed in mainstream media at the moment. And believe it or not, it's being pushed. Listen, they have a rule in Hollywood, and that rule is all publicity is good publicity. All publicity is good publicity. You have these people on such a demonic hierarchy that even when something bad is being spoken about them, they like it. Because that means a bigger paycheck. That means their name is popping up in more search engines. They already know that broad leadeth to damnation, so most people are going to sweep a lot of things under the rug and continue to support garbage. Nobody is protecting our women. And I'm talking about black women. Black women are the most disregarded, disrespected, and unprotected women in the world. And you can look at it by the statistics of missing women and children. They also have the richest internal organs in regards to their uterus, their eggs. They have the richest sexual organs that spring forth life. So you got a lot of things going on in the black market. You got a lot of things happening. And a lot of people are afraid to speak on those topics. But they can continue to sit here on social media and disrespect our women. Now listen. I expose wicked women. One issue that they're going to have with me, new breed to the world over, is that one thing they can't do is just go ahead and label me a simp. What these simple red pill bitch niggas, in my opinion, what these simple guys do is every man who stands up and defends our women, they label them a simp. One thing about me, they can't do it. They can't do it. Even if they wanted to, they can't say, oh, he's just a simp. Because when you look at the track record and you look at some of the talking points that were actually stolen from my content and others, you already know that I'm going to hold wicked women accountable for their actions as well. But at this current time that we live in this dispensation of time, we, the men, we got to fix certain things in our community. We got to do it. The blame game have to stop. Because this is unacceptable. That as men, we can't control our loins. It's unacceptable that we sitting around watching these screens all day instead of trying to make something of ourselves. And take that energy that we internalize and reach higher expectations in life. It's unacceptable that we continue to promote the lasciviousness and the wickedness in our community. That we, as grown-ass men, continue to support the strip clubs, continue to support the OnlyFans, continue to put women on a pedestal who are not modest in their apparel, who are not chaste, who are not humble. Listen, let wicked women be. The Bible tells us that what's awarded a wicked man is a wicked woman. What's awarded to a wicked man is a wicked woman. Men in truth don't have to worry about having no wicked woman. We don't have to worry about them. They're not a part of our world. We can analyze them and highlight the ones that are in society, but we don't have to deal with them on an everyday basis because we have gotten to a point as men where we say, you know what? I'm taking full responsibility for everything that happens in my life. I'm going to practice self-autonomy on such a level that can't nothing penetrate this armor unless I allow it. When you get to that point, you're not scorned. You're not hurt. You've learned from your various experiences. Life is nothing but a series of events that you're supposed to learn from as men. Yeah, you've been through it with a trifling broad. She broke your heart. I get it. What did you learn from it? Oh, you got a baby mama that ain't no good. She using the kids against you. What did you learn from that? What did you learn from it? You can't control what somebody else do. You only can control what you do, brother, moving forward. You can't control what she do. You can't control what she do. You only can control what you do moving forward. Let the Most High judge the wicked. Let's go. Let's go to women's views on pornography. It says women tend to view pornography as more degrading of women than men do. When a sample of students was asked about their feelings towards pornography, 72% of young women, but only 23% of young men stated that their feelings were negative. Moreover, when asked if pornography is degrading, about 90% of young women, but only about 65% of young men agree that pornography is degrading. Whether they think pornography is degrading or not, women who view pornography regularly unwillingly engage in a form of listen to this. Women who engage in a form of self-denigration. So women who, according to their studies, women who do view pornography regularly, they're practicing some form of self-denigrating, meaning they busting it open. The women that you see on social media degrading themselves, letting it all hang out for the world to see. A lot of them who seem not to have any shame whatsoever. A lot of them women, they tend to be watching that material. So it has an effect on them as well. So the question would be, what type of woman do you think you will attract if you are constantly watching this material as men? What type of women do you think you will attract? If you watching nothing but porn, you're going to attract what? Harlots, whores. That's what you're going to attract. Because you're lifting certain veils in the spiritual realm to allow certain things in. Now when you have a woman in your life that's bringing you all kind of problems and chaos, who's to blame for that? Because if you was never engaging in that activity, you would never be attracting those type of women. Some of us brothers don't know a good woman if she was standing at your door. If she fell on your doorstep because you be too busy trying to look by her, you be too busy trying to look around her, trying to find the one who got the poom joints all the way up her crevices. You got this good ass wholesome woman who gonna treat you right there in your face. She's right there. This woman gonna help you become a millionaire one day. She gonna bear you the most beautiful children. She gonna raise them. She gonna be cooking for you every night. You gonna be eating good. Your health gonna be on point. She gonna be giving you back rubs. But guess what you doing? Because you have an issue that you're doing in the dark. You looking around her. That's what's happening. And then we want to complain about the women that we got with that wasn't no damn good. You knew she wasn't no good, nigga, before you got with her, you stupid ass. You knew she wasn't no good. You wasn't thinking about what was right here. You wasn't thinking about what was right here. You was thinking about that ass. Because you ain't disciplined yourself as a man. And then want to get mad at all women because she broke your heart. Nigga, you knew she was a hoe from the get-go. We got to take responsibility. We trying to act like it ain't no damn good women out there. We trying to act like it ain't no good women out there because we ain't attracting them. I won't be one of those brothers to see her like, all these women ain't nothing. I'm taking this red pill. I'm going savage mode. You should see these dudes. Bunch of hurt men. I'm going savage mode. Yeah, blank these hoes to sleep. Yeah, red pill. You got these guys trying to tell y'all how to date. Trying to tell you how, listen, first and foremost, anytime somebody trying to tell you what to say and do on a date, they're trying to tell you to be someone outside of you. How about this? Be yourself. Either she's for you or she's not. Don't go out here simping either. Don't go out here spending a bunch of money on a woman and thinking that that's going to buy her love and admiration. I seen one video on World Star the other day. This dude, he takes a woman out. He spends over $600 on a meal, and he's getting mad because she won't go home with him. Nigga, ain't nobody tell you to do that. Now that's a simp. You don't even know this woman. When you getting to know somebody, you meet halfway, go to a public park, get to know her. You done spent all that money on her, you don't even know if you like her or not. How the hell am I gonna spend all this money on somebody? I don't even know if I like this person. I haven't spent no time with this person. Like, I spent all this money and I sat here and talked to you and damn, I done spent all this money. I really don't even like your ass. I don't like where your mind at. Yeah, you look good, but I don't like you. You spend money with, I mean, at least get to know her first. And then when you meet on a mutual ground, I mean, it's very simple. Be yourself. Of course, you don't want to tell her everything about you in one day, but give her a little bit of an understanding on what direction you going as a man. You could touch on her past a little bit if you would like, but I don't know. As a man, I feel like it's important for us to be progressive thinkers. Tell a woman what you got coming in the future, what you plan to do, what's going on in your present life. You know? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's go to some more scriptures. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. There have no temptation taken you, but such as in common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. It says there's no temptation that's not common to man. We all gonna have temptation. All of us, brothers. You're gonna be tempted to watch certain content, certain material. You're gonna be tempted to do certain things. There's no temptation that's not common to man. I don't care what it is. If it's a porn addiction, I don't care if it's a food addiction. I don't care if you suffer with, staying active. I don't care if you suffer with just certain things, keeping a regimen, keeping a schedule. As a man, there's no temptation that's not common. We all have, as men, we all have the same temptations. Here's the missing point. Instead of being lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, we got to have this biblical understanding that with every temptation, the Most High make a way out of it. With every temptation that's presented, there's a way out. There's a way out. You just got to put your mind to it. The Bible tells us you will never be tempted above what you are able to handle. It just so happens when you fail the test, because that's all it is. When you fail the test, it's going to make you backtrack. This is a marathon, not a race. When you fail, you backtrack. You knock progression off. You could have been moving forward in that direction, but you fell into that temptation. Now, you didn't pass the test. Now you done messed up. Now you got to deal with some shame, some conviction, some guilt. Now you got to lose certain things because you failed the test. But if you would have made a way out of that temptation, the Most High would have promoted you. That's how it works. You pass the test. Now, okay, now I'm going to lift you up. And he always make a way out of it. You just got to, it's mind over matter. When you hear that succubus demon come into your room, whisper in your ear and tell you to flip that laptop open and watch something you know is going to make you backtrack, you gotta pray. You gotta read these scriptures. Look, the word of God is our weapon. Anytime Satan came at the Messiah, his rebuttal was scripture. His rebuttal was scripture. His rebuttal was the word of God. That is literally our ammo. That is literally our armor. That's how we fight all things that come up and rise up against us. That's how you fight organized mobbing, gang stalking. That's how you fight all things. When that enemy come up against you, when you got people in your environment being choreographed by Satan himself, and he's using people in your life like the damn puppet master, that's when you go to the scriptures. Drew, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, New Breed, how do you feel about asking a girl on how many partners she has been with in the past, or do you feel like it matters? It might be a little off topic. Shalom, bro. I don't think it's an issue asking a woman how many partners she's had. I don't think that's an issue at all. Because if you're dealing with a woman who does not have a high body count, she shouldn't have no issue answering that question. She shouldn't have no issue answering that question. And I'm going to be real. When women lie about that, men know it. Let me just put that out there as well. When women lie about their body count, men know it. Especially when they already crossed the threshold. They know if it's a lie or not. All right? So, I think honesty and transparency is key. Because what a lot of sisters got to understand is when they do have a lot of body count, that means that man is going to have to put in a lot of work to switch that DNA, that genetic marker, back over to the right side. It's going to be a lot of work. He's going to have to deal with her a lot because there's residue of those other men. There's residue left. Now, it can be healed, it can be fixed, but the man needs to know how much work he's going to have to put in to get that residue off, to make sure she's fitting his chemical marker. Because when a woman dealing with a righteous man, his DNA, when it crosses her, it changes her from the inside out. She goes through a metamorphosis. When she's dealing with a man of the Most High, a man of truth, when that DNA enters, she begins to change. She begins to change. There's a metamorphosis that takes place. But if she has 50 other men under her belt, she's going to have a real hard time pair bonding. And a man can make a conscious decision whether or not he want to pair bond with someone who essentially can't love him. She can't bond with him. She can't. It's something block. All of those men and that DNA is blocking her from bonding with you truly in its purest form. So, that's why men are concerned with body counts. In case women don't know, that's what the concern is. And we don't want all our women walking around with high body counts. Because the issue is, nobody wants to address who's giving them the body counts. Because if men wasn't out here just trying to hit it and quit it, they wouldn't have all them body counts. And let's not act like there's women out there who don't want to get hit and quit as well. Let's not act like that's not a thing. But I'm just holding a lot of you brothers responsible at the moment. Now, let's continue. And this is for all the men out there, the talk that we all needed to hear. And this is all about manhood right now. All of the key components. And there's a lot to talk about. Y'all see, we going in today. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to manhood. And this is the type of conversation that you got to have with your sons, your nephews, all young brothers right now. Y'all need to share this video to everybody. All the young brothers out there need to hear this particular video. Now, Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Yes, this is talking about our emotional intelligence as men. Ooh, this is a very good topic right here. We talk about our emotional intelligence. A man who's slow to anger is stronger than a man that's mighty. So when you see all these brothers selling wolf tickets, beating on their chest, trying to be overly aggressive all the time, seeming to overcompensate, it shows a lot of fear. It shows fear. It shows insecurity. It shows that they're lacking something. It says, it's better to be slow to anger. That makes you more mighty than a conqueror of land. Makes you more mighty. Because, listen, in this society where the odds are stacked against us, and there's a lot of things that we go through as brothers, it's easy to be angry. It's easy to just flip the script and go off. It's easy. Because there's so much going against us. But it takes a lot of valor, it takes a lot of strength to walk away from situations. A lot. Something that our enemies and our foes, they should be afraid of. Because when they sitting there antagonizing, when they sitting there trying to provoke the lion, and the lion is calm, cool, and collected, they should be afraid. Because they know something that the antagonizer don't know. Art of War tells us never let your enemies dictate the terms of war. That means that that man knows something that their enemy don't know. And knowing this biblical truth, knowing that the Most High judges our enemies, he judges those who rise up against us, knowing that, we know how to bridle our tongue. We know how to stay level-headed in situations. We know how to stay away from just exploding. Very important. There's a lot of strength that comes with that. Galatians 5:16 through 20. Let me just go to 16. Then I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Oh, it's all about the Ruach Kadash, the Holy Spirit. If you walk in the spirit, you will not be out here trying to fulfill matters of the flesh, because let me let you brothers know something. Your flesh can't be fulfilled. Your flesh can never be fulfilled, no matter how much alcohol you drink, no matter how many women you smash, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much food you eat. You're always going to hunger for more. You're always going to thirst for more. You're always going to crave more. The flesh can't be fulfilled. The flesh is designed to be your detriment when not put under subjection. The flesh is designed to be your detriment when not placed under subjection. That's why fasting is so very important. See, when it comes to matters of the flesh, that's how spirits are able to make a man go on a decline or make a woman go on a decline, because a demon's sole purpose is to destroy the vessel that it inhabits. So that spirit wants you to be insatiable with all your appetites, wants you to go out there and try to fulfill everything. When really, the goal is to destroy you. That's why everything that feels so good can be so bad for you. And when that spirit gets ignited, you can't do the same thing you used to do. You can't just smash on certain women and think you can sleep good at night. It don't feel good no more. You know, it feel good while it's happening, but it don't feel good knowing that you're doing something wrong. When that spirit comes alive and it's ignited and you're walking by spirit, oh, you dread that feeling. You dread the feeling of conviction. You don't want to be on the wrong side. You want to try to pass each test that's thrown your way. You may not pass every test. I haven't passed every test. Lord knows. Lord knows. A man who says he's without sin is a liar and the truth ain't in him. I done been through my tests. I done been through my fair share of tests that I failed. Most High was like, eh. That's how I know the Most High loved me. Man, the Most High has extreme patience. Extreme patience. Those patience are not to be taken for granted. They are not to be taken for granted, because you will deal with the outcome of your choices. Let's just put it that way. But once you're walking in the spirit, you begin to dread that feeling of conviction even more. You start to crave purity even more. You're like, you know what? I just want to be on this uphill battle. I want the battle to, at the very least, be uphill. I don't want to go on no damn downward spiral where I decided to do one thing that was out of bounds, and now that led to me just saying the hell with it. That's how people become reprobates. Telling you. Let's continue. I can do all things through Christ which strengthen me. That's Philippians 4:13. I just thought I had to throw that scripture out there just to add support to the fact that Christ is over every man. That's the biblical patriarchy. And you can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm telling you now, man, I have to go to Big Bro. I have to go to the Messiah. Like, Lord, I don't know how you was able to overcome that and not do what you did on this earth and just be right like you was. But Lord, you need to give me some direction. Because I only can do this through you. You are the image of what we supposed to be. I only can do this through you. So you have to show me something. I'm praying to you. I aspire to be like you. Let me know what I can do to be a better man, because I'm having issues. And I guarantee you could do all things through the Messiah. All things. Right? Let's continue. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 16. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. A fool's wrath is presently known. See, this is some real man stuff right here, man. I love this stuff right here. This is the stuff that I'm gonna sit down with my boys as I'm building my boys up. I can't wait. I can't wait to have this talk with them. I can't wait. They babies now. I got a 5-year-old. He ain't no baby. He 5 going on 20. He ain't no baby. That little man, he's way beyond his years. And he's that's probably the coolest kid you're gonna ever meet. Right? But then I got a baby on the way. I can't wait to sit down with my boys and give them the game. I can't wait. And we need fathers, man. I can't wait to give them the game. I can't wait to have this talk with them. Because I know when I pour into them like this, there's a lot of things that they not going to fall into. There's a lot of things they're not going to fall into. But it says, a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth his shame. Listen, when you showing your wrath and it's presently known by all those around you, hey, that's a sign of weakness. I mean, every time, all through growing up, I always wondered why the loudest barking dog always cowered and tucked their tail in between their legs when shit hit the fan. I always wondered that. I be in high school. I remember sitting up in high school, brother with the loudest ass mouth, the center of attention. The brother that's out there beating on his chest like he King Kong. He got to be seen and everything. But when something go down, he never can stand on his own. It's like, you ain't shit without your homeboys. I'm like, I never understood that. But it's always that brother that's quiet. It's always the one that's quiet. It's always the one that ain't got much to say. He in there to get his grades. You know, he might mess around with the little girlies every now and then. You know, he have his little group of friends that he deal with. He don't talk much. He ain't trying to be centerpiece. It's like, it's always that brother. Soon as he's picked with, he knocking somebody's head off their shoulders. I've seen it time and time again. I've been that guy a couple of times, so I know what I'm talking about. It's like, I never want my sons personally to try to be the center of attention, try to be these quote unquote alphas. And I put that in quotations because a real alpha and these alphas on social media is two different things. A real alpha is a man who take care of his business. A real alpha is a man, his word is his bond. An alpha is a man who provide for his family. An alpha is a man who do what's right. But these alphas on here who gotta be the center of attention, be all out there with it. I see weakness. I see you. I can see right through them. It's written all over their face. Here's what it is. Let's continue. We going to John. John, chapter 2, verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Look, let the world have its people. This particular stream here is to you brothers who had the potential to turn it around. Not you brothers who hate women, not you brothers who are scarred. I'm going to let the world have the world. Because brothers who are not totally driven and motivated by the lust of their eyes, they're going to understand this message. They're going to understand that, you know what? I got to discipline myself. I got to stop pointing the fingers at society. I gotta stop pointing my fingers at the white man. I gotta stop pointing my fingers at wicked women. I gotta stop pointing the fingers at mommy and daddy and my parents. I gotta stop pointing the finger at friends. I gotta stop pointing my fingers, and I gotta say, as a man, what can I do to ensure that I don't walk down those paths that a lot of brothers have failed? That me as a man, I don't go back and I don't backtrack and feed into the narrative and the trajectory that society would have me follow. That I, as a man, take responsibility for my actions and I move forward. I learn. I take the chastisement. I take the beating that goes with it, and I make myself a leader. Be able to lead a tribe. Be able to lead a wife or wives. Be able to provide for the children. It's all in the book. The book, the Bible, is the pamphlet. It's the code book. It's a cheat code. The Bible's a cheat code, bro. It's a cheat code for life. That's why I tell brothers to study to show yourself approved. It's a cheat code. This is game for free, man. Real talk. All praises to the Most High. Bless each and every one of y'all. Yeah, somebody says that it's a real extra, like an extra live cheat code. Real talk. Hopefully this video made you examine yourselves as men. I know I lost a lot of supporters as of late because I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of men. I told you that I'm going to do all I can do to get wicked brothers off my channel who decided that they're going to hate women and bash women. I'm going to get you off my channel. I don't need you around. I need real warriors. Real warriors that's rocking with me. Real brothers who've been through the struggle, who wanna move forward in life. Not this 360 turn that social media keep pushing. Some of us gotta learn how to take a damn break from social media. I'm talking about some of you content creators who don't seem to be level. You seem a little bit off. Sometimes you gotta take a break, put it down. Sometimes you got to focus on things outside of social media. Now, if it's giving you a paycheck, hey, do what the hell you got to do. But sometimes taking a break is just as important as working. You know? But it is what it is, man. I love y'all. All praises to the Most High, the God of Israel. Bless each and every one of y'all in the stream. Hopefully you got edification. If you would like exclusive content, the link to my Patreon is in the description box. Also, if you would like to support this work via Cash App, 10% of all contributions go back to you, the people, or the people who are in need of small bills, medical supplies, gas money, lunch money, or what have you. I make sure I give back because the Bible tells us that charity covers the multitude of sins. So give. Even if you don't give and contribute to this work that's being built, give to someone who is in need. All right? Go out there and give to the homeless. Give it directly to them, though. All right? But all praises to the Most High, the God of Israel. Y'all have a blessed afternoon. More content coming. I should be going live tomorrow. We got something to discuss tomorrow as well. Another topic for all of you brothers and sisters who have been in isolation lately or are going through the birth pains of your awakening. And that's for lack of better terms, I like to call it a birth pain because, hey, you're coming into a new life. I wanna give a message to all of y'all who are going through that transition and being outcasted at the moment. I have a real important message I want to bring forth tomorrow. Tomorrow around the same time, I will see y'all. All praises to the Most High. If you don't have your notifications on, click that little bell in the corner and turn all your notifications on so you can get videos as they're being uploaded. Also, I'm thinking about changing the name of my channel, The New Breed, to the world over to New Breed to the World over live. Yeah, I'm gonna add a live to it because that's what we do on this channel. We live stream, live and direct, face to face. But all praises to the Most High. Thank y'all. With that being said, shalom and peace.